Blam.
Ready?
Okay, so today we are giving our review on the Axial products, specifically the Wraith and the Honcho and the other Wraith. And it's coming from the perspective of the expert,
Whatever.
the intermediate, and the novice. So I've actually owned this one for a couple of years, just bought this one and took this one down to an event. Did pretty well, burnt out a motor, because once you put all the weight and all the accessories and everything on there, it definitely slows it down. That was your first event. How did you like your first event? We really only waterproofed everything and
waterproofed it and
changed your tires.
Changed tires. Too much weight in the front tires. Kind of went with like serious comp color weight, and the issue with that was caused a little bit of stress on the steering servo and the axle stubs that come off. It kind of messed with those a little bit. So put back the stock tires on to try that out. They have, I guess, mid-grade weight without 2 full strips of the lead weights, and that seems to be working a lot better.
And then the only other problem we actually found, so my Honcho has gone through minus, I replaced my stock tires with some pit bull tires, which actually work excellent, especially once you get in the water. The stock tires are pretty good, they're just not quite as soft, and these pit bulls just destroyed everything. The Honcho, I actually never broke anything on any of the events. The Wraith, we did have a problem. We actually replaced our front steering hubs and C-hubs, because just playing around they seem to break, and I think it's just because it's a bigger and heavier vehicle. Now you're thinking about buying one.
Yep.
And I just asked him right before we did, because he was set for the Poison Wraith, which the only difference is it does not come with lights, but it comes with these upgraded tires that aren't these. These are the pit bulls as well. Comes with upgraded tires, and it comes with beadlock rims with adjustable air. So you can adjust it so that you can have more airflow or less airflow depending on whether or not you're doing some racing or if you're actually doing some crawling. I just asked you, because you were set for that Wraith, or for that Poison Spider, but now you just drove both in the backyard. What are your immediate thoughts?
I like them both. I enjoy the Honcho because it's a little easier to maneuver, a little easier to get around. It does have what you said, the 27 spline.
27 turn motor, yes.
Yeah. And when I was driving the Wraith, it had the 20. The Wraith has got the ability to clear objects better. It's got a little bit, feels a little bit more stable than the Honcho. The Honcho seems to be a little
Tipsy, yeah,
tipsy.
You
It's
definitely.
a little smaller body.
Once you get on something that's definitely sideways, coming up some rock faces, we actually one of the parts of the Recon G6 Axial Fest Cisco Grove 2013 event was actually this rock face that we came up, but you came up from over here and you had to exit at the top of the rock here. Well, the problem was with the Honcho, as soon as everyone drove sideways, you end up rolling it. And I actually had to end up doing some work to like move it over on the rock. When we went up with the Wraiths, we thought, okay, we're gonna have to do that same thing. As soon as we got up on that rock face, we didn't have to do that at all, because they're so wide stance, and even though they're really heavy, it's just the wide stance kept it on the rock, and I was able to like move up.
I think that's the one time all that weight that I had in those tires came really handy, because it just punched right up and over it, and that was nice. That was nice.
I think overall, though, I probably will go with the Spider and probably keep it pretty stock, except to go to the 27. And
now
go to maybe a little different tire, but other than that.
Well, the Spider
comes with those upgraded tires, yeah. So I have heard mixed reviews of how good they are, but for a stock tire, they're better than the original stock tires, which you actually have back on.
These are the stock tires on it right now, correct? The only difference, it's not stock, is there's probably about 1 bar lead weights that we got in here.
Yeah.
So this has a little more weight. If you were to compare the tires, they weigh considerably a few good more ounces at least. I don't know, like 10 ounces or something like that, more than what the rears would weigh, which will help keep you from coming back and all that.
Yeah,
and
for
help you
sure.
pull up over stuff. So
I think my main complaint about anything Axial, because I've owned an Axial Exo buggy, getting to the batteries is a fucking pain in the ass. The battery's back here. Granted, I have the tire mounted, but even if the tire's not mounted and it's just the body here, you're still trying to slide a LiPo battery in and down. And if your batteries don't have the plug coming straight out the front end, you actually have to have an extension wire to be able to plug them in. Because it's really meant for the old school, like NiCad batteries that had the wire sticking out from the front. I know you can still get them, but
LiPo's the way to go.
this one you can at least get into without having to try to take stuff apart. This one you actually have to take the body off, or else you're really mangling through everything. The Wraith also has the ability to put lots of scale items on there. We had one of the events was a Bigfoot event, and so therefore I have, which I'm sure you can't see, which I'll show you. We had a little Bigfoot dude in there, and we had all our scale items for the event. Honcho is not quite as easy to do that. I had to take that body apart and start to do some hot glue stuff. But all in all, good vehicle. So you're going with the Poison Rain.
Yep, definitely the
Okay.
Poison.
And that is my child crying. So that's the end of the video.